Today, we're getting caught up with the 9-month Ultimate World Cruise and how a 274-night cruise around the world has gone viral across social media and mainstream news, as dozens of characters on board the ship have their every move reported to the world by drama TikTokers, as though they're in their own reality TV show. Now, an influencer that went viral talking about the cruise has been sponsored to join the trip for the next 18 nights, and he's already shared more drama than any other character so far. I've pulled together the entire story, including all of the creators to follow if you really want to know everything about this cruise. But if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Austin. I make videos staying caught up with the latest internet drama and news, so if that sounds like your thing, feel free to stick around by subscribing after you watch the video. Thank you everyone for 60,000 subscribers. I still can't believe how fast we're growing. I'll keep it up with the weekly videos, as long as you guys keep enjoying them. And even if you don't decide to subscribe, thank you so much for watching. Today's video is the most research I've ever had to do. I've compiled and watched over 10 pages of video links in order to bring you only the best of the best out of all of the 9-month cruise content so far. And we'll go through what it's like living on the ship, all of the drama up to this point, and every single Ultimate World Cruise influencer on board. First, let me take a couple seconds to thank today's sponsor. Now, I don't know if you've ever had the experience of getting ready for a middle school dance, and for whatever reason, that night you decide the cheap body spray just isn't gonna cut it. So you wander into your dad's room and pull out the first bottle of cologne he has sitting in the cabinet. Next thing you know, you're dancing to TikTok by Kesha, with your classmates wondering why you smell like a 45-year-old man. Fortunately, I'll never have to go through anything like that ever again with today's sponsor, Scentbird. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription, which lets you pick which designer fragrances you want to receive, so there are no surprises. For just $17 a month, you can choose from over 600 perfumes and colognes, giving you a 30-day supply in a spray-proof case, so you can try fragrances from top brands before committing to a full-size bottle. This month, I received Missing Person by Fleur, which has a lighter floral scent, Ombre Seren by Grace DeMonaco, which has a very dark lavender scent, and my favorite of the group, 19 Degree by Tumi, which smells extremely fresh, like just getting out of the shower. You can try out these fragrances for yourself, or pick from hundreds of others by using my promo code, GREEN55, for 55% off your first month at Scentbird. It's just a little over $7 for your first month, and it's available in the US and Canada. Thank you to Scentbird for supporting the channel. Now, let's talk about today's story. Let's start by getting caught up with what the Ultimate World Cruise is, and what they've been up to so far. This is a 274-night cruise by Royal Caribbean, visiting over 150 destinations in more than 60 countries. There's also an option to join just one of 4 segments of the cruise, which is a little over 60 nights. Or you can join one of the 17 sailings, which are shorter 9 to 28 night stays. The prices per person for the 274-night Ultimate World Cruise are $60,000 for the interior stateroom, $65,000 for the ocean view stateroom, $83,000 for the balcony stateroom, $118,000 for the junior suite, and $760,000 for the royal suite. Again, these prices are per person, based on 2 people sharing the room. Things kicked off around November 23rd, 2023, when World Cruise attendees started receiving care packages in the mail. And cruise goers started packing and posting content surrounding the trip. Showing up and checking in for the cruise seemed to go pretty smoothly for everyone. Well, except for maybe a few people.
Wow, look at all those irons. That's the best. Okay, what's the funniest thing you've had to confiscate?
Oh, whip.
Huh?
Whip.
Oh, whip.
But once everybody was on board, they had a big sail away party on December 10th. Here's a recap and room walkthrough from an influencer on board the World Cruise named Amike.
So we got our luggage and we got checked in on the cruise line. Apparently there is 700 other passengers on the cruise ship that's doing the 9 months, so we're definitely gonna make some friends. And here is our room reveal. So we're cruising with Royal Caribbean and we're on their ship called Serenade of the Seas. And it was built in 2003, so it's one of their older ships. It's pretty cool to travel and have your own space, so I think this room is amazing. What's nice is most of these mirrors you see has hidden compartments where you can store things, and we stored a lot of our luggage under the beds. But it was an absolute disaster unpacking. I mean, look at this. And here is the after. I mean, I think we did a pretty good job. And this is our cupboard. I had to squeeze in all my dresses and coats. And this is my husband's part. He is very neat. And this is the bathroom. Everything looks perfect. So yes, this is our room for the next 9 months. And I can't wait to see the world.
And another room review from two creators on the trip named Andrew and Allie.
We had a couple comments asking for a room tour, so welcome to our room. Over here is our living room area. We brought a throw blanket from home just to make it feel more homey. Then we have our laundry basket, and Andrew had to bring his putter from home because he's an avid golf nerd. His desk is over here. He's like the main one that uses it. That's where he makes all our videos. The closet is really tiny. I'll leave that to the imagination because if I open it, everything's gonna fall out. Our bathroom is really tiny, but we make it work. So we added a couple storage options. We added this like magnetic shelf from Amazon, and then just crammed our medicine and my makeup down here. This opens up, but it's very teeny tiny. And that is it for our luxury bathroom experience. They actually brought our laundry back today. They wash and fold it for us 3 times a week, which is super, super cool. Best part of our room, I would say, is our cubby. So our neighbor George told us that we could ask for a mattress pad, so we did. And with our view, we get to see basically everywhere we go this entire cruise. So like right now, I can see Aruba, I can see whatever ship this is, and it's super cool just to look out and see every day with the ocean or just wherever we're going.
So, not exactly the biggest rooms in the world, but thankfully it's a cruise ship, so there's gotta be plenty of stuff to do on board. Here's a quick tour from a photographer working on the ship named Alondra.
Hi, my name is Alondra. I'm a photographer on board on the Serenade of the Seas. Let's start with the tour of the ship. This is the helipad, my favorite place in the ship. It has a beautiful view of the sea and all the ports. And look, who is there? It's the captain. Remember that Serenade is the ship that will go around the world for 9 months, and despite being small, it has a lot of things, like the Centrum, the place where you can find the Christmas tree. And also, if you like to do shopping, the ship has its own shops where you can find perfume, makeup, watches, jewelry, and a lot of recognized brands. And talking about food, the ship has its own main dining room and specialty restaurants on board. Plus, if you like to do exercise, the ship has its own gym, and you can find it in the area of the pool deck, and I love it because it has a beautiful view of the sea. Another interesting place in the ship is the arcade, where you can find a lot of games to play. Also, the ship has a variety of bars on board where you can enjoy music and live, enjoy a beer or a cocktail, or spend your afternoon playing some games. Talking about games, if you like to bet, you can do it in the casino. Even the ship has its own mini golf. And if that were not enough, you can go to the cinema to enjoy one movie or the theater to see a play. Finally, we cannot forget the famous pool deck, a place where you can go refresh yourself or just relax if you go to the adult area. So if you were thinking that traveling in a ship is boring, let me tell you that is the opposite.
And if you get tired of all that, you can see a range of different shows. They have an Elton John tribute show,
Oh, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live.
a Beatles tribute show, and they even have juggling. Also, just admire the editing on this one. I wish my editing was half as good as that. But if you are interested in what it's like to be a performer on board a cruise, I'd highly recommend checking out the Singing Sailor on TikTok. Here's just one example of the super interesting behind the scenes content he's posting.
Hello everyone, it's me again, the Singing Sailor. Now it's the premiere of Piano Man. To make sure we were all on top of our game, we had to have a technical rehearsal. Here's us going through the motions. And then I had to focus my attention to some of my wardrobe supervisor duties. Here I had to create a headband for my colleague Whitney's wig. I created a headband, I attached it to the wig, and then I moved my focus to her tambourine and blinging it up. Next up, my nails. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I love to do my nails. They're gel, and I apply everything myself, right down to the pigment. Now, are you ready for opening night videos? Here they come. So not only do we have an incredible orchestra and 5 stunning vocalists, but we also have a ballroom couple, and that's Andre and Tatiana from Ukraine. There's my dear friend Whitney, and we've got Dan and Julian. Now this show incorporates music from Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Billy Joel, Elton John and Barry Manilow, and it's a huge hit with the audience. What I say is you can't beat timeless classics. Anyway, speak to you later, lots of love, the Singing Sailor.
All in all, besides the drama we're going to cover in a second, things were pretty much going as expected. There were typical cruise parties, like when they had country night or 80s night. On Christmas, Santa Claus showed up to take pictures, and on December 27th, they had a big crossing the equator ceremony. Soon after, sailing smoothly into the new year from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Despite how well everything seemed to be going so far on the Ultimate World Cruise, social media and the mainstream news caught wind of how insane a 9-month world cruise sounded, with multiple subreddits being filled up with people discussing the trip, and drama TikTokers already starting to anticipate its eventual downfall.
I've made it my mission for the next 9 months to follow every single person who was on this 9-month cruise with Royal Caribbean. I have so many thoughts. Like, can you imagine eating cruise ship food for 9 months? At first, it may seem cool. But after a while, I don't know if I can handle it because I was on a cruise for 7 days and I was over it. So 9 months is pushing it. Everyone on board has access to unlimited alcohol. Unlimited alcohol for 9 months? That's insane. 700 people on one cruise ship for 9 months. Can you imagine the type of drama that's going to happen on that boat? Why do you think I'm following everybody? If something big goes down, I want to hear from different people, different angles, perspectives. Come on now. The relationships that are going to be forming, the jealousy, friendships. Like, I want to see all of it. 700 people in the middle of the ocean. This is basically a community, a small town. Everybody about to get to know everybody. But then I also think about the cruise ship, like the boat. Hoping that everything goes smoothly, no technical difficulties. Like, I have so many thoughts. I'm stressed. I'm excited. I'm nervous. This kind of feels like a social experiment because, like, why would you want to be on the water for 9 months? 5 to 7 days on the water? Cool. 9 months? Absolutely not. I may not be able to handle it, but I'm going to live vicariously through the people who can. Okay? I'm tuning in. I'm watching everything. I want to see it all. The good, the bad, everything.
This is Nietzsche Mad on TikTok. She's the self-proclaimed CT director and has already posted dozens of videos covering all of the drama on the cruise. There's also Pamela Wurst Vitrini, who created her own fake TikTok reality show, starring various content creators on board.
Hi TikTok, I am the content curator who brought you the hit fake TikTok reality series I'm a Private Chef in the Hamptons this summer. And I am back for another round of your favorite season of TikTok. A limited run series because we all know the cruise line will not be doing this again. A fake reality show that will follow the lives of these 5 humans and probably more who have chosen to take the Royal Caribbean's 9-month-long world cruise, a terrible decision if you ask me, and they are sharing their content online for all of us to follow along. This is the cast that I found who have posted consistent content so far, but please tag all of your favorite creators who are on the 9-month-long cruise in the comments.
And we'll go through every content creator on the Ultimate World Cruise in just a second. First, here are all the TikTok creators I could find that are somewhat consistently making videos following the 9-month cruise. There's Cara, the self-described bingo girl, who invented Ultimate World Cruise Bingo in a video on December 15th. Also doing World Cruise commentary is Kisha Peart. And there's Sip Tea with Melissa, UK Secret Travel, Lorelei Todd, as well as Living My Beth Life, and last but not least, Mark Sebastian, who posted this video on December 20th.
Put cameras on that goddamn cruise. Put cameras on that ship right now. What do you mean there's a town hall people aren't being invited to? It's a cruise. What do you mean that the Pinnacle members are being treated differently? There's a caste system being formed? You haven't even been on there for 2 weeks. It's so haunted. There's going to be mutiny. There's going to be blood. Someone is going overboard. I want to watch. Bravo, where are you? I need eyes. We're witnessing Fire Festival, Alabama Rush, and no one is rushing there. Put me in. Alternatively, put me on the cruise. I'll go. If you pay for one section, I will go. I will cause chaos. I will wreak havoc, and I'll record everything. Let me tell you something. If you're on that cruise, I now film everything. Because in a year from now, when they come knocking and say, hey, we're actually making a documentary about that cruise you went on, they're going to want exclusive footage, and you're going to be able to sell it to them. You want to pay for your ticket? That's how you do it.
And not to spoil what comes later in the story, but Mark will get his opportunity to join the cruise. Now, we need to talk about 4 different dramas that have happened so far during the trip. But first, I need to introduce you to all of the content creators or cast members on board. Stay with me for a second because there's a lot of them. First, you have Brooklyn and Madison Schwetche, 2 college girls from Alabama traveling with their parents. There's Andrew and Allie Kenny, a young married couple that loves to travel. We also have Angie Linderman, Brandy Lake, Amike Uz-Thuisen, Shannon Marie, Dr. Jenny Travels, Little Rat Brain, John Q2, one of the crowd favorites, Joe from Spending Our Kids' Money, Adita, who is involved in some drama that I'll be explaining right after this. Another favorite among all of the creators, Anthony Antoine. There's Nadine Bauer, and Ultimate World Cruiser, Point My Soul North, Lopan, who has a lot of great videos. Same with Mike and Nancy at Living Phase 2. Another performer showing off the behind the scenes is Julian Mendoza, as well as Sugamation. Or check out Martina working on producing the shows. We also have Emily Blinkhorn, Lindsay Wilson, Mary Z, and JT from Joy to the World SG. Now, there's also Amazu from Ultimate World Cruise Cheap, who somehow booked all 17 separate smaller sections of the cruise and ended up only paying $30,000 for the whole thing. The downside, as he describes it,
we ended up with 17 cruises on the Royal Caribbean in order to get this whole thing. So that does mean we have to get off and get back on constantly. And I will be going through the positives and the negatives to this in the next coming videos.
And finally on my list, check out Dinner Then Dessert if you want to see all of the food options while dining on the Ultimate World Cruise. Most of it looks like frozen food cooked on a stovetop, just plated in a fancy way, but there are a few things that look pretty good, like this chef's table experience that we're going to look at later. But those are all the somewhat prominent content creators I was able to come across while researching for this video. Let me know in the comments if you already have any favorites or if there's anybody I missed. Now that you have somewhat of an idea about all of the characters both on board and on TikTok, we need to talk about some of the drama that's hit the first month of the cruise. The first situation started on December 20th. When UK Secret Travel posted this video.
Oh my god, it's tea time on the cruise. I have had some intel that the Pinnacle members on the Ultimate World Cruise are being treated very different to the rest of the guests. They have been invited to meetings and town halls, which other guests haven't been invited to. And things that are going on in these meetings are affecting the ship. So last week they had a meeting which spoke about seeing the Northern Lights from the boat, and the Pinnacle members got to see that, but the other guys didn't. They missed out on that. And that's a once in a lifetime thing. So, you know, you're spending a lot of money on a cruise and you're getting left out by the company who you've bought it off. So I would not be very happy about that. Another thing is a lot of the guests on board, specifically the segmenters, are getting pissed off already after 10 days. They're getting really pissed off. Royal Caribbean and how they are treating these sort of platinum members a lot better, and also treating the world cruisers better than the segmenters. They're doing everything they can to make sure that the Royal Cruise members are happy, content, comfortable, which you should do with everyone that is on the ship, especially when they're paying that amount of money. But no, there's a real divide. So with the segmenters, I overheard something that they had to queue up to get on board for 3.5 hours, whereas the Pinnacle members could just walk on in front of everyone. So private parties for high status members, so champagne parties and things like that. There's also separate group chats going on, Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, things like that. A lot of the segmenters are not being allowed into these groups because they're not doing the full stretch. So they're missing out on a lot of things.
After this, a few people in the comments were quick to point out I mean, it's pretty standard in the industry for the highest tier cruisers to get special parties, dinners, etc. Classism on my elite world cruise? Never. With another TikToker, the Gia Cobra, responding to this drama with her own video on December 20th.
Apparently the world cruise already has drama.
I have had some intel that the Pinnacle members on the Ultimate World Cruise are being treated very different to the rest of the
That's on every Royal Caribbean cruise. For those who don't cruise, cruise lines have loyalty programs, which are very straightforward. The more you sail, the higher level you become. And for cruise lines, this is a major thing because that's how you keep people sailing. I have the maximum loyalty level on one cruise line and I'm almost there on another. And a lot of the time, those benefits are what make me decide which cruise line I'm going on. This is Royal Caribbean's benefit list, which is quite extensive, and Pinnacle is the top level. Pinnacle Club cruisers have 700 points or more. From my calculations, the least amount of nights that someone would have to be on a cruise ship is 234 nights to reach Pinnacle, and that's if they booked a junior suite or higher and were a solo traveler the whole time. AKA, these people have dumped a lot of money into this cruise line.
So ultimately, this made up drama about the higher loyalty tier members being treated better didn't really amount to much. The next situation involves the cruise cast member I mentioned earlier, Adita, who got into some drama on December 24th when she posted this room tour.
So this is my cabin on the World Cruise. It's cabin 8500, and it's an ultra spacious family. It's not a suite, it's an ultra spacious family room.
And you might have not noticed anything right off the bat, but many people in the comments did, saying things like, the pineapple? I didn't have the pineapple bunch on my World Cruise bingo card. And the swingers have arrived. Because whether you knew it or not, decorating with pineapples is a thing that swingers do. Well, this drama blew up among the cruise followers on TikTok, with many hoping this would lead to further rumors. However, the fire was quickly put out 3 days later when Adita posted this video.
Sorry to disappoint you, but we are not swingers. But we do like pineapples. Here's my pineapple ring. Here's my pineapple necklace and earrings. And here's that infamous sign for my door. Again, sorry to disappoint you. We're not swingers, but we do like our pineapples.
So she seems nice. The next situation involves another one of the creators on board, Anthony Antoine, who hopped off the ship around December 22nd in Grenada to go on his own side vacation for a few days. The issue came up when he flew to Brazil to continue his side trip. Business Insider says in this article, according to Royal Caribbean's official policy, guests are allowed to hop off at one port and reboard at another. It's called downlining and must be requested in advance because, among other things, cruise ships hold on to passengers' passports while on board. But each country has different policies when it comes to disembarking and rejoining a trip. And Royal Caribbean told him Brazil would not allow him to disembark at one port and then get back on at another. I think he initially planned to reboard the ship in French Guiana, but wasn't able to due to bad weather, causing the ship to cancel its port day. This led to an interesting situation in Brazil when Anthony finally met back up with the ship.
Now this is where the optics doesn't get any better. Because guess what, y'all? I'm here at the port. And guess what that is right there? That is Serenade of the Seas. And this is where the optics doesn't get any better. Does that make any sense, fam?
Fortunately, less than a week later, on January 4th, Anthony posted this video rejoining the cruise.
I am back home and I am standing at country 40 for me. At this point, as it stands, I've been to all the 50 states and 40 countries, with Uruguay being the 40th country. Look, y'all, my room. What? I am back home.
So, luckily, that drama is already resolved. The last thing we need to talk about before really getting into the main section of this video is regarding the wine drama, which was reported by the content creators at Living Phase 2 on January 2nd.
Well, all of you on TikTok, you've been asking for drama on the Ultimate World Cruise. We finally have some drama.
We have drama for you. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
They're running out of wine.
Can you believe it? So they've told us here that we've gone through more wine than they ever anticipated. And that includes 3 pallets of just the Oberon Red. Not cases, 3 pallets of that one type of wine. So they're hoping to get restocked. They're trying in all the different ports. They tried to restock in Barbados. That didn't work. They just tried to restock in Rio. They got a little bit, but I don't know. This is drama.
Let's look at the bright side. I like cocktails.
We'll keep you updated on the Ultimate World Cruise. Bye-bye now.
As you can tell, a pretty dire situation. However, the worst of it was avoided just 2 days later, when the same creators posted this update.
World Cruise wine drama. Day 2, crisis averted.
The update.
So they've added 2 new wines, you can see here. 2 local wines, one from Uruguay, one from Argentina. And they're actually very good wines. They're adding some local wines to make up for a few that they're out of. Royal Caribbean is just doing an excellent job making up for that. And we wanted to let you know we're somehow surviving the lack of wine.
Passengers are happy again.
Mike and Nancy have some great videos going up from the cruise, so definitely go check them out. The way they reference the drama that people are looking for on TikTok indicates that other influencers on board might be even more aware of just how many people want to consume Ultimate World Cruise content. Well, let's talk about how the cruise cast members started becoming self-aware, which began after some of the most watched creators on TikTok got together for a mini Q&A game show thing. Here's a video posted by Amike Uthswiesen on December 19th.
Hey guys, I'm Ami and I'm here with the Ultimate Real World Cruise. And this is your hosts for our game show. Dr. Jenny Travels, Angie Linderman, and Little Rat Brig.
Along with this video shortly after. Following this, each creator posted a different snippet of the Q&A game show. And at this point, they were only encouraged to lean into their stardom even more. When the Today Show aired a segment on December 27th, talking about the 9-month Ultimate World Cruise, passengers on board quickly posted their reactions to the story breaking.
Blockbuster version from Royal Caribbean, involving 7 continents and more than 60 countries and 11 world wonders, is certainly taking TikTok, if not the world, by storm. As passengers document the first 2 weeks of this 274-day journey in a reality TV, tongue-in-cheek kind of way.
This led to one of the most popular TikTokers on board, Brooklyn Schwetji, getting invited to participate in the ship-wide Crossing the Equator ceremony.
Hey guys, so today we'll be doing our Crossing of the Equator Neptune ceremony, and I'm in it. So I'm really excited to be a part of it. This is going to be so much fun, but there was this bucket of ice, and I was like, no way, this is going to be crazy.
Captures everything on camera. How dare they bring them to me? I call upon TikTok guest only known as Brooklyn. Where is she? This scoundrel records every part of her day on camera. Waking up, choosing what to wear, which activity she's at. She even ate a whole display-only donut on Donut Day. And she makes everybody dance like personal dance monkeys. All the 3. Not only that, we didn't get an introduction of all the TikTokers. Meet the team. Dr. Jenny, Angie, Brandy, Shannon, Brooklyn, Madison, Annie, Little Rapper, Walter, and Andrew and Ali. There they are, they're the TikTokers, everybody. Punish them. This is out of control. Henchmen bunch this woman, starting by kissing the fish. The fish. Nice. Neptune, is that all you need from Brooklyn? No! Ice water to be administered down the scoundrel's back. Do you mean a cup of ice? No! a bucket of ice. A bucket of ice. Cold water. There we go! Oh my word. You have been cleared of all charge and you are free to remain in the realm of Neptune. Give us some applause, everybody!
Fortunately for them, being lightly roasted like this in front of the entire ship did come with a few perks. Because Royal Caribbean quickly realized that since there wasn't actually any real drama, these people were just doing free advertising for them. So they immediately started giving them free stuff. Like the very next night when they got treated to the chef's table premium dining experience.
Hey guys, we have a super cool opportunity, and tonight we are going to be eating at the chef's table. And thank you, Royal Caribbean, for such an amazing experience. This is a 6-course meal, and it is with wine pairing. And then we got to see our amazing staff and friends from the food and beverage team. The super cool thing about this when we arrived was that we got our menu on this paper, and it had our name on it. And then the chandelier was made of forks, knives, and spoons. We then met our amazing chef, and then we got our first wine pairing, which was from Italy.
This is from the Friuli Venice region, which is located in the center of the country.
The first pairing that we got was for our scallop carpaccio, but before that we got this bread, which was so amazing you didn't even need any butter for it.
Okay, so what you have in front of you is the scallop carpaccio. Basically, it's a raw food, right? And it's sliced thin.
My goal for this dinner was to not be picky, and so I made sure to try everything. I started off with the scallops and I added it to my bread, and it was delicious. Then we went into our second course where we got a Chardonnay from Napa Valley and our smoked tomato soup. We were told that this tomato soup is the best tomato soup you will ever have in your life, and I would have to agree. Even though this is my first time ever having tomato soup, this was amazing. Now it's time for the third course.
From Marlborough region, New Zealand. The New Zealand wines that are known for their fruitiness.
So as y'all heard, this wine was from New Zealand, and we will be having Maine lobster salad. This is the most challenging one for me with being so picky, but I did end up trying it. Next up is our fourth course, and this is the roasted branzino, and we paired it with the Chardonnay from California. For those that are allergic to fish, they also have the option to get truffle pasta, and it was so delicious. This is actually from Giovanni's, which is another premium restaurant here on the ship, and I definitely want to eat it again. Then Derek came back to check on us again, and we had to get a group selfie with him. And now we've made it to our final course before dessert. The fifth course was a filet mignon paired with a red wine. I would say this was my favorite dish. And then it became dessert time, where we got an espresso martini, and then we got this amazing dessert that was called The World, which had peanut butter ganache, chocolate mousse, and a salted caramel gelato. It was actually very cool because they poured hot caramel on top of our chocolate ball, and it created a beautiful dessert. In my opinion, this is the best specialty dining I've ever experienced on a cruise ship, and I highly recommend you go there. And I just want to say thank you so much, Royal Caribbean, for this amazing opportunity.
Yeah, it looks fine. Maybe like a 6 out of 10 meal. Besides the truffle pasta and the espresso martini, I would absolutely house both of those. But at this point in the saga, we need to go back to where these characters were first being identified, because Pamela Wurst Vitrini posted this video on January 10th, explaining her disinterest with covering the cruise moving forward.
So you guys know I'm done with the cruise, right? Like, these are not my people. This isn't my thing. My fake TikTok reality show about the cruise is totally canceled. Like, it's just not, I'm not feeling it. My heart is not in it. But if you were to ever pay attention to the cruise, you should do it now. Because first and foremost, number one, we have Mark, who is not an industry plant. He's not a Royal Caribbean plant. He has been planted on the cruise by us. Viewer, this is now a color by number cruise ship. This is now an interactive game. Mark, an influencer, was paid by a brand, I think it's a book brand, to go on the cruise for 18 days. And it just so happens to be the 18 days that they go on the Drake Passage. All of these people, all of our favorites, they're going to get real sick. They're chugging ginger ale. They're putting on all the patches, and they're going to be barfing starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning, January 11th. If there's going to be any drama on this cruise, it is going to happen in the next 48 hours. We have Mark, we have sea swells, we have 20-foot high waves, we've got vomit. It's going to happen now. So if you've ever paid attention to the cruise, please do it now. You can go to my collections. I have all of the cruise videos saved right here. Get the popcorn ready. This is the excitement. This is the season. This is the climax.
And we're gonna catch up with Mark Sebastian in just a second. First, I need to explain even more drama that's happened, mostly regarding the bad weather conditions the cruise has had to face. First situation happened on December 23rd.
Unfortunately, we cannot make it to what is known as Devil's Island in French Guiana today due to rough weather. Due to safety reasons, we can't put everyone and ourselves onto tender boats to get to the island.
Our amazing Captain Stig approached the island to literally test the waters and made an announcement so we could go check it out. This is my view from my porthole while I was getting ready, but look how rough the waters got right after we departed from the area. Safety first, cruisers. Safety first.
This cancellation is the reason for the drama involving Anthony Antoine that we talked about earlier. The next situation you may have heard about, because on January 2nd, the Ultimate World Cruise went through a storm and flooded.
Serenade got hit with a massive storm today. Things got a little tense. Elevators shut down. But this amazing crew jumped into action and saved the day. I brought the step.
Another video was posted the same day by Adita, the pineapple lady. This caught the attention of USA Today, who interviewed Adita about the storm. It was just really tilted, so it was hard to walk, she told USA Today. Even for Larson, who has been on more than 100 cruises with the line, it was a new sensation. I've seen a lot of rocking, but never tilting just one side for so long, she said. Later, as she walked down the stairs at the front of the ship, she heard what sounded like rain inside the elevator shafts. The captain warned guests to stay away from the forward elevators as they had flooded, and announced the ship's outside areas were closed, according to Larson, who lives in Houston, Texas, and is sailing with her family. She said crew members in the dining room told her dishes fell off the tables when the ship tilted, and heard from fellow passengers that water had come into their cabins through the balcony doors. Larson also shared a video on TikTok taken by a friend that appeared to show the floor on deck 12 covered in water. She said the captain informed passengers the ship was sailing through winds as high as 60 miles per hour. By about 3 p.m., the weather cleared up and the forward elevators were accessible again as of late morning Wednesday. Now, let's talk about the latest in the world of cruise drama.
Hey everyone, Dr. Jenny Travels here, and the time has come, y'all. Drake's Passage.
Yeah, Drake has his own passage now. Around January 10th, the Ultimate World Cruise started preparing to go through the Drake Passage.
Hey everyone, Dr. Jenny Travels here, coming at you with all things Drake Passage. Importantly, we are not there yet, so buckle up.
And tomorrow morning at approximately 9 o'clock, we will be starting to feel the full force of Drake Passage, so please secure everything that you have loose in your cabins and be careful when you are walking around the ship.
Now I'm going to show you where we are right now in this moment so that you can see Drake Passage on a map and see what all we still have to go through in order to get to Antarctica. And according to my Polar Steps app, we are right here. As you can see, we have the Falkland Islands to the east and Argentina to the west. Now, if I scroll out a little bit, I can show you exactly where Drake Passage is. It is right there. So as you can see, we have to cross over that darker part of the water in order to get to Antarctica down here. So hopefully that clarified where we are and where we still have yet to go. As you can see on board, the barf bags are out, the decks are closed. It was actually quite beautiful today. I feel like it was the calm before the storm. The pools are empty, and we attended a meeting from Captain. Listen in.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. This talk was so good and so fun. And the mood on board is good. It's an anxious, excited. Listen into this next question and the reaction.
Will those announcements that you're going to make go into the cabins at any time of the night so we can be aware?
That's a tricky question.
Tricky.
How many of you want to be woken up in the middle of the night?
Yeah! And with that, I'm going to leave you with our new modified plan showing our cruising days and our Antarctica days. Stay tuned.
As the ship started making its way into the area on the morning of January 11th, the creator Point My Soul North posted this update video.
Here's an update from the Ultimate World Cruise in the Drake Passage. Here's a wave map, and we want blue. Although the wave height is still about 6 feet currently, we're definitely feeling it, but it's manageable. I think it's the 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts more than anything. The Drake's between the tip of Argentina and Antarctica, and it's where South Atlantic and the South Pacific meet. We're heading in a straight line and should be about here by night.
Other passengers, like Nancy at Living Phase 2, reported what was going on around the ship.
As we head through the Drake Passage, the winds are high and the ship is rocking. Seasick bags are at every stairwell and elevator at the ready. They've drained the swimming pools in preparation. The windjammer, although people are there, it's a little quieter today. They're not letting us out on decks 12 and decks 5 due to the high winds and water. I've got my seasick pills ready to take. I'm feeling good right now, but I may take one just as a preventative to stay on top of things. The ship is really rocking today. This should be some of our worst waves throughout our entire world cruise. We'll get through it, just a day or two here. I'll keep you posted.
Mark Sebastian, whose TikTok we're about to go through, posted this video showing just how insane the waves in the Drake Passage are.
It's Gotchabon time, baby, except I am on the Drake Passage on my way to Antarctica. Holy
However, despite the dangerous conditions people were anticipating, Brandy Lake posted a video the next day showing them cruising by Antarctica.
Hey, from the Sea Day seat, the Antarctica version. Take a look at that. Is that not amazing? Oh, look, we got an iceberg right there, right there.
Okay, so for the final section of the video, let's talk about Mark Sebastian, a creator on TikTok that made the video we watched earlier, where he was saying, "Put me on the cruise." Well, on December 27th, this happened.
Alternatively, put me on the cruise. I'll go. If you pay for 1 second, I'm going on the Ultimate World Cruise. 18 nights aboard the Serenade of the Seas. I'm going to Antarctica. I only own fashion jackets. What am I going to wear? And a very unexpected and cool brand reached out to me and was like, "You want to go on that cruise?" And I was like, "Really?" They were like, "You want to go on or not?" And I was like, "Well, yes. I leave in 6 days. This is going to be me on the cruise. I'm going to walk on and with this. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win. It's not a competition, but I'm going to make it one." The Drake Passage, babe. North Sea, right under it, Drake Passage. Anyone know what to do for seasickness? Those little bracelets work?
And if you're wondering which brand was smart enough to get Mark on that cruise, here's a video he posted just after boarding on January 6th.
I thought these were crazy, but I guess now we're in the same boat. All thanks to Atria Books. Do you like to read? I don't, but maybe I could. Honestly, the last thing I read was my friend's choice in footwear. I looked down and told her, "Honey, that's no kitten heel. That's a feral cat shoe." But on this cruise, I'm gonna read a book. I'm gonna read a book.
Yep, he got a book sponsorship. I have no idea where they found that $8,500 in their marketing budget for the ticket, but things are now in full swing. And compared to the other cast members that won't share drama because they're getting special treatment, Mark is ready to spill the tea day one.
Well, yesterday I boarded the famed 9-month cruise, the Serenade of the Seas, and I have some thoughts. I'll be telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly, but in my own way, which is the fabulous, I'm pressing charges, or prison, honey. Let's start with the fabulous, Dr. Jenny Travels. She is so cool, amazing backstory, such a fun person to hang out with, funny, articulate. I would hang out with that girl even outside of this cruise. Hello! This is Dr. Jenny Travels. Another really cool person I met was Christian, who is Ultimate World Cruiser on here, and his lovely wife Liz, who saw me eating breakfast alone, invited me over.
With my wife and I, because
Sure.
we're seated over there.
Yeah,
I'll
come sit there. No, absolutely not. I'll come with you guys. They were so nice, so sweet. Talked to them about everything from their daughter to where they're living now. Liz is fabulous. Christian is so kind-hearted. Not enough good words to say about them. Moving on, we have some things I will be pressing charges against. Number one, it is so loud on this goddamn ship. It's so overstimulating. The non-stop music being pumped into every room, every hall, every dining room that you enter. I swear I sat on a chair and the music got louder yesterday. Someone who does have sound sensitivity, I'm aware that this could be a personal preference, but if we could take the volume from here to here, That'd be great. Next, unfortunately, I will be pressing charges against the Royal Caribbean Channel for showing me nicer ships I could be staying on. What do you mean that ship has an aquadome? Okay, I've seen puddles bigger than the pool over here. I'm just not sure why I should have to see that when I'm on a ship that is older than Jenna Ortega. And the final category, prison, honey. Whoever did the lighting upon this ship, I want to see you in prison. Whose idea was it to put hi-hats in every room with the most offensive warm yellow lighting I have ever seen? Frankly. And in the hallways, babe, I walk out in that hallway, I aged 15 years. I'm literally wearing a hat because I'm scared of the overhead lighting. Moving on, I have a lot of clothes. I called to get extra hangers, and unfortunately, they brought me wire hangers. You're psychotic if you think I'm gonna put knitwear on a wire hanger? And lastly, the thing I'm sure you'll be most excited to hear about is that the people on this cruise ship continue to give me dirty looks everywhere I go because I have my phone on the gimbal, recording myself, because they've seen my videos. I promise I will give you that energy back tenfold. See that? I'm dying. Thought I was videotaping them. I keep going like this. There's a reason a publishing company sent me on this cruise, and it's because I know how to read. And I'm not talking about books.
Yeah, Mark doesn't care what people think. He's there to get us the content. On day 2, he shares about meeting the rest of the creators on board.
The first fabulous thing is the vlogger and blogger meetup that I went to this morning.
Welcome to the World Cruise!
I got to meet pretty much all the main characters of the cruise. They were all so cool. I wish that they were kind of meaner so I would have more drama with them, but honestly, early days, so who knows. The next really fab thing was Little Rat Brain's spreadsheet where she wrote down every single average temperature of every port she was gonna go to and what she was gonna wear on that day. Genius. Her mind is something I will be picking apart. The last, but definitely not least really fabulous thing, Adita. I met her, she came to find me, I interviewed her a little bit, she gave me some tea. That'll come out tomorrow. She also revealed how much the person paid for the most expensive room for the entire world. It is, again, tomorrow. There was also some drama that happened inside that interview that we will get to in prison, honey. Next, I will be pressing charges against the art curator of the Serenade of the Seas. You will be getting served papers for the art crimes you have committed aboard. Thank you. Look, this one's sort of like a deer, but then you go over here and you're like, oh, it's a bald eagle being hit with a bolt of lightning. Oh, and Bambi's here. Great. Wow, why is the eagle so sad? It is 9/11. Next, I will be pressing charges against whatever smartass at Royal Caribbean decided to see my video about the wire hangers and send plastic hangers to my door.
Sorry, I was told to give you these. Did you request? Thank you.
If that was like a way to win me over, you should have also sent water bottles. But if that was a sly way of telling me that you're watching, well played. Lastly, prison, honey. Something I find a little strange is that Grindr will not load when connected to Royal Caribbean Wi-Fi. Every other app will work. Tinder, Hinge, all the other dating apps, they work. Grindr will not load. I don't know, maybe it's just not working for me. Has anyone else experienced this? This could just be coincidence. This could be corporate homophobia, but I better not see you guys with a Pride logo. I'm not looking for a hookup on the ship. I'm just trying to check in on my hot boys in LA. Can't do it. Lastly, to whatever Pinnacle members were inside of the card room where I was interviewing Adita, who decided to audition for the role of my grandparents by scolding me for swearing, I would like to see you behind bars. Now they have aerialists flying through the thing and beaches.
You don't need to use the swear words, okay?
Oh. I think that it's fine.
This is a public area.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so sorry that you're offended by swear words.
I've seen too many.
Seen too many what?
Swear words.
Oh, well, I mean, I think I'm okay.
So just settle down.
Oh, okay, thank you. Don't tell me how to speak. Thank you very much. Anyway, go on. Was I a little bit back to them? Yeah, but you're not my fucking mother. Don't tell me how to speak. Yes, we were in a public space around no children, and you were the one trying to overhear what we were talking about. And I know they were Pinnacle members because they're all wearing their dumb little gold name tag that they all wear voluntarily to prove to exactly no one how superior they are. Babe, I can assure you that no one cares you have like 900 Royal Caribbean points, which means you've spent like 3 years on a cruise ship. And I do have more Pinnacle tea where that came from. I will see you tomorrow.
So far, most of Mark's beef has to do with the old people on board that are Pinnacle members, who don't seem very happy about all the young people disturbing the peace. Fortunately, all the cast members seem to be very nice people, which likely explains why there hasn't been any real drama hitting TikTok so far. The next day, Mark uploaded his interview with Adita, and she spilled some tea about the Pinnacle members.
Finally met. Look, come on. Oh my god, hi.
I am not one of those superstar 41 Pinnacles that is snobbish.
You're a cool Pinnacle.
Yeah.
I have seen some Pinnacle members who do seem like a bit off-putting, but I haven't, I don't know. There is a VIP elevator, I have not.
They don't even know about it. Express ride that comes here.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have to be special.
Express ride? Shut the But did you get
express rides? Yes, of course. We don't have to wait for everybody to get up and down the elevator.
I mean, God forbid.
No, really.
God forbid.
Our time is valuable.
Like 700 points valuable. Well, actually, you're like 1,400 points now.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'll invite you.
You will?
Yes, I'll invite you to the lounge and you can see the good food.
I would absolutely love that.
He also asks her about the swinger drama.
You're not actually a swinger, right?
No.
Are there swingers on the boat?
I heard there was one
Hello.
couple. Are you all lit? I'm looking for the swinger couple.
There's a swinger couple?
Yes, there is a swinger couple.
Just one? Don't
You know
more than
what?
one?
We're menage a trois.
Later that day, he posted a room tour, showing off the setup for the remaining 15 nights. The next morning, on January 10th, Mark posted this video, vibe checking the Windjammer restaurant.
There are 2 different songs playing within 10 feet of each other. This song, and there's also Rihanna playing a mere 10 feet away. I'm Scrooge McDuck, but I personally don't want to have to greet every person that comes up to my table to ask me how I am when I'm trying to shove a croissant into my mouth at 7 a.m. You know when you're out to dinner and someone comes up to you at the worst possible time and it's like, oh, how is everything? Your mouth's like stuffed with food. That happens on a loop here. It's an eternal hell. It's an eternal hell where it's like, I swear to you, these people who are like checking in on us, they wait until I have food in my mouth to come up and go, how are you? And I'm going, no. Drink packages, internet packages. I want a package where I have a little sign that sits on my table and says, I'm fine, thank you. So 14,000 people don't come up to my table every 4 minutes going, how's everything?
Honestly, Mark has the best content of the cruise so far. He's giving us the details we really want to know, which is apparently making some people mad because they started talking smack about him in one of the Royal Caribbean Facebook groups.
Apparently, I have made it onto the Crown and Anchor Facebook group. I don't know what a Crown and Anchor society is, but apparently it's important in world. Scary world that must be. So I thought I would read and rate some of the insane comments that were left by members of this group as we cruise gracefully across Antarctica, because some of you fossils will never make it here anyway. First one is incredible. It says, he might have a slip and fall and might end up you know where. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I do like the insinuation that someone is gonna throw me overboard. I just don't like that you use the word might twice. This next one I think you'll find funny, because they say, he sounds obnoxious. Anyone calling for blood, chaos, and throwing someone overboard needs to be escorted off the ship at the next port. Now wait a minute, because I thought 7 out of 10, kind of boring. You paraphrased my first viral TikTok about the cruise, but you better keep that same energy when people are talking about throwing me overboard. This one's a 10 out of 10. Live and let live. Easy to avoid that drama. Walk on by. Finally, someone whose brain hasn't atrophied. Great job. This one says, I hope they kick him off. The amount of pure lies he's spreading is terrible. I watched him the other night saying nobody could get water unless they were Pinnacle members. Funny, I'm on a cruise right now, and only Emerald, and they give us 4 bottles. Must be nice. Can you imagine typing that? I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 10 because honestly, you look kind of fun.
Now, the cruise is carrying on for its remaining 8 months, with the plan to go back up the west side of South America, hit LA for the Super Bowl, then continue on to Asia and the rest of the world. But with that, we're pretty much caught up on everything that's happened with the 9-month Ultimate World Cruise so far, and how the 274-night trip has gone viral across social media and TikTok, with dozens of characters on board the ship having their every move reported on by drama TikTokers, one of which has made it on board and already started sharing the details we've been waiting for. But now that you know pretty much everything about the 9-month Ultimate World Cruise so far, I need to know, what do you think about everything? Would you go on the 9-month cruise if given the opportunity? Who's your favorite character to follow? And is there any drama you anticipate happening on board in the near future? Let me know all that and anything I missed down in the comments. If you want to get caught up with even more internet drama and news, please consider subscribing. And check out any of my recent videos. Feel free to send me stories that you'd like to see me cover over on my Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. Thank you again to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Check out the description or pinned comment below to get over half off your first month. And I'll see you in the next one.